Good afternoon. We are now in round two. What's up, Justin? I'm at work. Zach said you know Blender. I send you a model. Can you modify it for me? Maybe. I've dabbled in Blender. I wouldn't say I know Blender. I play with Blender. I play with ZBrush too. So I don't know. Send it to me. I'll look. I'll just tell you if I can't. I do okay in Blender. I find it. You know who to really ask if it's something easy is um yeah. Why is my brain not working today? Um, Country music dude. I talk to him all the time. I used to model with him all the time. He's awesome in Blender. Um, why is my brain freaking getting a brain fart? I'm getting a brain fart. I can't even think of his name. I can see his face. You know, country music guy we hang out and play 3D print with. He plays country music and lives in Nashville. I can see his face. I don't know why I can't get his name in my head. Tanner, yes, Kit. There you go. Kit's on YouTube. Everyone else is on Twitch. What's up, old curmudgeon? So I have this Ender 3 or 5. It's not an Ender 3. A stream about building a printer that is not an Ender 3 or an Ender 3 clone. Imagine that. It's an Ender 5. This is Mike's auto drop mic. He hasn't had time to build it, and he wants to build it. I guess he's had it like a year or two. He dropped this off the other day and said, "Build this for me." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I hadn't gotten around to it, but I'm gonna do it now because I just tore apart printers. So now I'm gonna build a printer. Yep, Tanner. We could always hit up Tanner. I'll hit up Tanner if I can't do it there, Justin. But yeah, send it to me. We'll figure it out. If it's something stupidly easy, I could probably do it. If it's something complicated, I might not be able to because I am not great with either one of them. I do okay. I dabble in them. I wouldn't say I'm good at either one of them. I can. I am good with Fusion mostly, and I actually can do organics in Fusion. People don't realize Fusion actually can do organics, and it's not that hard. It's not. It's not actually sculpting, but it actually you can manipulate in an organic styling in Fusion. Actually, kind of easy. It's a little different. See, I don't have a problem with it. I did a lot of when they first started introducing that. No, this is way back. Uh, the whole mesh area. I actually liked it better when they did it started than it is now. It's kind of made it more complicated by giving it more abilities. If that makes sense. It used to actually be easier to get something done, but when they first started doing the mesh stuff and adding it to Fusion, I played with it a lot. So I did a lot of like I would just start. I made a bunch of vases in it, just learning it and how to manipulate. Vases are great to learn how the mesh area works. So I did a bunch of vases in it. Like literally, I think I have like 100. There's probably 40 or 50 online between Thingiverse and Printables and everywhere else. I think Printables has most of the good ones on it. Um, but yeah, I started out with vases, and I've done a lot of stuff. When me and Tanner were doing the spaceship thing together, if you look at his in Blender and mine in Fusion, mine actually looks more organic, even though I did it in Fusion. I mean, they're both cool. We got to finish that someday. I never actually finished it. I mean, it's somewhat finished. I got to clean it up. I still have the model. I mean, it's Fusion, so you never really lose it unless you deliberately go out and delete it. The only thing I need to do is find someone that can clear print me the. Mine has like a round globe in the front of the spaceship, and obviously you can't really do that in FDM. That's one of those resin only kind of things. But anyway, printer. Let's move this out of the way over here so I can still sort of see it, but I can get it to printer. And let's do a little unboxing of an Ender 5. Because this is an Ender 5. Where's my knives? My knives are over here because I took everything down over there. And see what's in here. Now again, I think he's had this like a year or two, he said. And I think they've updated the Ender 5 a couple times since then. You know, minor stuff mostly, but I do believe there were some updates. So we will find out what's in here. I got stuff everywhere. Look, it's got an actual guide. Let's see. This is a motor for something, but it doesn't want to come out. That would be the extruder motor. And this would be the screen. And this little top foamy thing here. And I think I'm going to move this box over to the table saw so I can use the box I just stripped. And I think I'll take this table over here and use it also to put stuff on as I pull it out. So this is the screen and the extruder motor, the classic Creality plasticky extruder motor. Well, they get that spring really tight. Yep. Pretty classic, pretty basic. The bad MK8. MK8 extruders are actually not bad. They got a bad rap because bad people made bad versions of it. This, I'm guessing, is the Z. Looks pretty nice. Everything looks kind of straight. It's all pre-built. It's even got the end stop mounted. So I have a feeling it's going to be relocated. I have no idea what the screw's for, but we'll find out. These look pretty beefy. Moves pretty smoothly. Let's see how much wobble the lead screw has. Got a little bit, but it's not terrible, actually. It's actually pretty straight. I usually find these things kind of bobbly. Bobbleification. Bobbleification. Then we have whatever comes next here, which is, I'm guessing, the upper X and Y carriage plate head thing, all pre-assembled. And this is one thing I do like. I like this, the way they did this with the one motor and the two carriage heads. Probably gonna have to tighten the wheels or loosen the wheels. Actually, those feel about right. That one's a bit tight. That one's a bit tight. Just so you know, these eccentric nuts with wheels, everyone says they tear up, and it's this and that and the other thing. If you set this, you should be able to turn it by hand with a little force, and it should slip. If it's too tight, you can't, and if it's too loose, it'll just spin, and you can tell it's too loose. And I never, ever, I've had printers with these stupid wheels on them forever. The Llamacorps all wheels, I never get that white dusty powder. I've never had it. As long as you set your bearings that way, I just don't get it. Now, there is a saying that some of it is due to cheap wheels, which is a possibility. I've always used actual open wheels wheels. Although I do have a set of cheapo Amazon wheels, but they never white powdered either. I never, if you set the tension correctly, you'll never get the white powder. I hate these. This freaking advertising car door magnet beds, but whatever. It is a true magnet bed with a true aluminum heater and everything. And it's tiny. And more foam, and then I believe there's more stuff. Okay, this is a total bonus. A real sample. Look, rest of the world. I can't believe I'm saying this about Creality. This is how you send sample filament. You can send a little mini roll of sample filament instead of those little coils that you might as well just throw in the frickin' garbage. It's a real sample of filament, like a real roll with like a spool and everything. Good going, frickin' Creality. I can't believe I'm saying that about Creality, but go Creality. And then we have a box, which I'm assuming's got some electronics and hot end and stuff in here. Oh, it's got tools and cables and some stickers and some nuts and bolts and a little scraper. That aside. And I believe the rest is the uprights. These are the upright extrusions. All nice and clean. All threaded, ready to go. Nicely wrapped. And then the bottom with all the wires and the switch and the electronics box. And there's a buttload of wires all over the place. And we can take this box right out of here now. And I bet if I really, really wanted to, I could probably assemble this thing without the manual. You have a pretty good idea of what's going on. The only thing I might need the manual for is the wiring, which I would. Although I think they tag it, they do. They have everything tagged pretty well. I gotta say, for all of everyone busts on Creality, their kits aren't terrible. I mean, they're pretty much pre-built. They all use decent. I mean, they've been known to have bad plugs, but they went from the XT30 to the XT90. This is a freaking XT90 in here. Oh no, it's an XT60. Excuse me. But it's still bigger than the 30s that were burning up. Yeah, they're all the same. Yeah, you can. The problem with changing that bed to a flex steel plate, this magnet on this bed is too weak. You could do it, it'll hold it, but it won't really suck it down. You really need to replace the magnet too, because it needs to be a beefier magnet. But it will. I mean, it will hold a magnet sheet. If you got a mag sheet that's got a little flex to it, it might not stick flat to it. Look, you don't need instructions. It's got the instructions printed right on here, basically. I mean, that's really all there is to building this thing. Screw the 4 legs up. It's printed right here. That's pretty. Go Creality. I mean, that's really all there is to building. There's 5 basic steps and then some screwing around wiring it up. There's 5 basic mechanical steps. Bottom frame, screw the uprights to. Mount the top frame to it. Mount the extruder motor and the spool holder. Mount your bed to that. Mount your bed carriage to that, and then mount the actual bed to it. Doesn't say anything about the wiring. But yeah, I'm actually gonna give Creality credit for this kit. I mean, I knew this was pretty easy. A no nut November? No, it's going to have nuts. Actually, I don't think there are any nuts in this, is there? There's screws, but I don't think there's any nuts in this. I don't think. Because all of these, everything's pre-threaded. Alright, what's going on here? Oh, I see. It looks like all these extrusions are individually wrapped on top of them all being wrapped together. Don't really want to drive my knife into the aluminum like I almost just did. Sort of did. I think I actually did. But... Okay, this is getting annoying. Huh. It's like a really matte finish. I always thought the Enders, I've never had an Ender. I've never had a Creality product. Not for any reason other than I just never had one. This is like a really matte black finish. It's not like the glossy black like everybody else. I kind of like it. It's kind of classy looking. It's flat. It's not all shiny like all my other black toys, like my A-Nets and even open builds. Some of the open builds is kind of not really shiny, but this is like a flat black. It's kind of cool. All right, I'm not hating this. I did think I would. If I were to ever own a Creality, even before I knew all the Crealities, of all the ones I've known, this would have probably been the first one I would have ever bought if I were out buying one. What's up, Speedy Al? Early today. This is late. I already streamed once. I started streaming at like 8 o'clock this morning. I tore down 2 printers and organized a box of crap. I'm going to build this printer. Yes, I'm the printer's foster dad. I'm going to build this printer for Mikey. I think he said keep it for a while and play with it, set it up if I want to. So I might just keep this for like, a week or 2 and play with it. I've always, of all the Enders, looking at, the Ender 3 and the Ender or CR10, I don't know what does anyone know what the difference between a CR and an Ender is in the Creality lines? What makes one a CR and what makes one an Ender? I don't know. But of all the Creality printers I've ever seen, the Ender 5 would be the one I would have always wanted to buy. I just never saw the Ender 3 or the CR10 as something I'd want. I would like an Ender 3. Let me rephrase that. I would like an Ender 3 just because there's so many of them, and it's such an easy platform to play with. I think the Ender 3 is like I would not, but if I were to buy an Ender 3, I would buy the original, most basic of basic frickin' Ender 3s, the cheapest, easiest to build one you can get, because I want to mod it. That's half the fun to me. With that style printer, this is actually kind of nice. I'm kind of impressed with this, to be honest with you. As long as everything fits and everything's square and sits right. For a basic kit, I mean, I don't know how. Someone look real quick and see how much these things go for now. I don't think they're that expensive. I think they're like right around $350 for this, which is more than an Ender 3, and all you're basically getting is an Ender 3 that doesn't have the bed swing. It's it's a bed dropper. Other than that, same size, same shape, same setup. It's a box frame instead of a bed slinger. But I'm pretty sure they're like $3 1/4, $350, something like that. I would get this over an Ender 3 any day. And I gotta say, it looks really well machined. Like everything is nice and clean. I'm not seeing any burrs. There's no real marks in anything. Everything looks well assembled. The wiring looks really well organized. I mean, it's a rat's nest, but what do you expect? So let's start putting it together. First thing you got to do is put a couple of these on here. Is there a top and a bottom? There is, but which one's which? Does some of these have a screw hole in one side? So let's look at the little box here. And those screw holes go up because they're showing here in the little box that the screw comes in from the side, where these are all from the bottom. So we just overhang this over the bench a little bit on this side. That will go right there. Screw up through. Make sure the hole is in the top. It is threaded on both sides, so you don't have to worry about, which orientation it is this way, which is nice. And all four of them have a hole in the top, correct? Yep. So there's somewhere around here, I pulled out a box of screws and stuff. They actually have a manual. I'm not going to open the manual. I'm going to go balls to the walls without it. Oh, look, it comes with a little spatula, knife, and a little SD card and reader. Ender 5V 2.2. And then the goofy little, I never use these things. I don't like my filament attached to the printer. I never have. It's just not my thing. I don't use the filament holders. Okay, screws. I have no idea what's in here. Wrenches. Wow. Check this out. I might actually use these instead of my tools. Because, okay, here's a new thing for me. If you don't know, I build all my own printers. I've always had kits. I've never bought like a kit. So, and I'm probably going to steal these. I've never in my life had a set of these flush cutters that everyone is so happy about. This is the first pair I've ever held in my hand of, these. I've had flush cutters before, but not with a printer. So I might steal these from Mikey. Because I've never built a kit printer other than the actual kit. The hell is that thing? That must be a filament path cleanery thing for reaming out the filament if you get a clog. That can go back in there. But this was another thing that's really surprised me. I'm giving props to Creality for this one. These are actually ball end. Little baby screwdriver, some wrenches. I may actually do my best to just use their tools, because these aren't bad if they're ball end. I'm not big on regular, I use actual screwdriver handle style ones. But if it's ball end like this, that should be pretty nice. And your two wrenches. What do we got in here? This should be all the screws I'm looking for. Got some stickers and some kind of Chinese label-y thing. And then all your screws. 5 by 30. And then these are 5 by 25. Then, the nozzle's not attached to the hot end. Can we see the hot end? Where's the hot end? Oh, it's on the carriage. It's on the top carriage. All right. 5 by 25s, it says right here. So, let's do it. Let's put the sucker together. Let's see. Let's get the hole up. One leg. I'm going to loosely build everything and then make sure it's all square and straight and all that crap. Which I know a lot of people never bother doing. But I will. probably why Mikey wanted me to build it, because he knows I will. It's an acupuncture needle. Stressed out on it. I'd rather they do like Prusia and have gummy bears. That would stress me out less. That would cure my stress less. I think they need to go to a different candy. I mean, gummy bears are alright, but they get all like gooey and stick in your teeth. And no, Papa John's, that commercial screams that you use some strange chemical-infused pepperoni, not better ingredients. Oh, what'd you get at Papa John's, Ed? Did you get a Papa John's, Ed? Is that tightening down already? Well, I didn't think I'd gotten it that far by hand. Snug it up just a little so it holds its position. And then I'll actually square everything up when I go to do the final build, final tightening. It seems to be lining up without, there's a whole lot of play, so I don't think that's square. I don't think there's much I can do about it. But that's in there. So now I can flip this up and kind of just lightly set it on there. Let's not pinch the wires. You can do these much easier this way. Did I put that one in upside down? No, I did not. All right. This thing's got to go away because it's in my way. There we go. Now it's no longer in my way. Put a bolt in here. Put a bolt in here. Line it up to the holes. Get them started. Maybe, if I can. Take their little wrench and just spin it in. I always found it odd that they give you tools for a kit. Like, what other kit comes with tools? You know what I mean? When I build kits, usually you have the tools. Like, I used to build models and, testers' models didn't come with the glue. They didn't come with the knives and the paint and I just always found it funny that 3D printers kind of come with all the tools, which is not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. Most of the time they're really crappy, and I'm not going to say these things are anything great, because they don't seem to me. But they fit well. They don't feel like they're going to slip or strip out. And it is a box end. I find that really amazing that they give you a box end wrench. I really do find that amazing. All right, one down. I really want to keep all these wires together, out of the way. Then we will get a little bit of play in them. Not a lot. So I don't know if I'll be able to square it up or not. So number 2 is drop the top on. Which way is the front and which way is the back? I'm guessing this is the back because it's got some kind of angle bracket that I imagine is going to hold some kind of, actually this might be the front. No, because the power is here and the power switch is right here. This has got to be the front. All right, get the bed thing out of the way. Let's pick this up. I'm assuming the end stop goes there and there. So this needs to go here and here. This should be the front, right? Because the end stop is right there and right there. So this should be the front. Even though the motor's in the way, I think I would put the motor in the back. If I were to design this, the motor would be back here. I don't know why they put it in the front. It's kind of weird. I don't see any advantage to it in the front. I don't see any disadvantage to it in the back. Maybe it's in the way or it's a problem with the X carriage. That's already stopping, so you're losing a lot of space. Where if it was in the back where all the carriage is, the carriage material, you know, the lead screws and the smooth rods and everything, you're over them. So that wasted space here in the frame would also be the wasted space here in the frame. Now you're like wasting space in the front and the back. But there might be a reason to it, and there might not. Who knows? All right. It says now upside down to use more M25s. Where do you use the 26s or the 30s? Oh, for the X carriage. Mounting the X carriage uses the longer ones. All right, that makes sense. Let's take all of these out because I think we're going to use them all. And put some screws in there. Squeak. Viking! Look, Viking, I got an ender. Okay, it's not my ender, but I'm building an ender. But it's not an ender 3. If you haven't know what I'm getting at is I've been stating quite clearly lately I'm nothing against them. It's just seems like every build stream now is an Ender 3 or some version of an Ender, you know, some clone or a Voron. I mean, granted, the Ender 5 is kind of an old printer too. Been around a while. But at least it's not an Ender 3 build. I'm just so tired of seeing Ender 3s being built and Vorons. Everybody, you know, everybody's either streaming an Ender 3 or an Ender 3 clone or a Voron. It's like it. Is that supposed to have the same ones? 25s. Okay, why aren't you going in? Is it just because it's not? Is that right? Yeah. I just didn't start it in there right. Let's screw it all together now. Okay, why is that so far off? That's kind of funky. That's a funky monkey. Now, this is something I don't like. This mounting bracket here is also the tensioning bracket, which makes no sense to me. Because now I have to tension the belts. I have to unbolt the frame to tension the belt. I mean, they're tight, so I don't have to do it. But these are not lined up the same. This is way forward, and this one, well, no, I guess this one's way forward too. But it's, you're holding the frame in place with the belt tensioning unit. And that just seems kind of stupid to me. It don't make a whole lot of sense to me. Not a whole lot of sense. Yeah, I'm kind of done. You know what? Like I was saying earlier, if I had $100 to blow, or someone just sent me one, I would like to play with an Ender 3. Not because they're popular, but because they are such a very basic. And again, like I said earlier in the stream, I would buy the basic original Ender 3 because it's such a versatile platform to modify. And that would be why I would buy an Ender 3, is because I would want to modify it. I like the idea of playing with it, seeing if I can come up with a better whatever for him. Should I even check it for square? See how square it is? I moved all my tape measures. I had my baby Milwaukee. My brother bought me this as a joke, and I actually love it. It's a really nice baby Milwaukee tape measure. Let's see. Got nothing to verify against because that bracket's in the way. Well, I can do it there. 623.5 actually is the easiest. And it's got an end cap, so I want to take that off. 23 and 5/8. So that ain't square. I don't think there's any way to fix it. Let's see if it's square this way. I don't think there's any way to fix the out of square. It's out of square. Like a good bit out of square, actually. Okay, what can I verify against? I'll go to the inside of this corner. 22, right on the button. I haven't tightened the bottom yet. 22, right on the button. So this is square, in theory. What it's not is this way. So I think what I'm going to do is tighten these up. Whether it's square on the front too, I don't know, but generally with this kind of frame, if one's square, the other one's going to have to stay square, or you can't move it. Come on, screw, where are you? There you are. I might remeasure that because it might just be me off, or these slides off. These things are slidable here. So if I tighten these, because these are non-adjustable mounts, and then I check square here again. Can I get to the inside? Close enough. 22 and just over half. 22 and actually it's square now. I have a feeling it kiltered in when I tighten this up because it's actually square now. It's like freaking dead on. Like right on. Like amazingly right on. I'm actually kind of impressed with this cat, to be honest with you. More than I thought I was going to be. I mean, I've seen these being built on streams and everything before, and actually I got a friend that has one. I actually recommended it when he first was getting into 3D printing. He's like, oh, I'm going to go get an Ender 3. I'm like, get an Ender 5. He's like, why? I said, you're going to spend about $100 more, and it's going to be worth every penny. He's like, you sure? And I'm like, yes. I would much rather have a straight box frame printer than a bed slinger. And that was 2 or 3 years ago. I was but is it in plane? I don't know. There's not much you can do about it where they're 2040s. I'm actually surprised it came out square, to be honest with you. Well, they actually have, these look like, I highly doubt they're gates, but these are real belts, too. They've got like the little brown hairs in them. So they're actual fiberglass, carbon fiber, whatever, reinforced belts, not just crap belts. That makes sense. And they're pre-tension. They're plenty tight enough. They might even be too tight. Everything looks good, so we'll give everything a snug up and then move on to the bed build. I'm pretty impressed with this wrench, actually, too, because they're not super cheapo. The thing about cheapo wrenches, a lot of times they don't fit the screw well. That's how you end up stripping out the screw bolt. And these are like perfect. They're not so tight you have a hard time getting it in there, but I don't feel like I'm going to strip it out. And it's a pretty rigid frame. It's actually way more rigid than I thought it was going to be. I'm thinking this, where all the 2040s are in one way, I have a feeling this is the motion you're going to get out of it in operation, because these things definitely vibrate. What's up, non-fam? I don't know. That's going to change. It hits the frame. That's what note it is, because it's one of those that rides inside. And this is one of the things I hate about Enders. I don't know if you can see it. And most of these cheapo printers is the belt at an angle. If you know your whole Pythagorean, I can't say the word, Pythagorean theorem thing, this will actually, like, it makes your motion wrong. You'll have it is very slight with this amount, but you actually can get a variance in motion. Like if you do in the middle of the bed and you tell it to move 10 millimeters, it'll move 10 millimeters. But as you get to the edge of the bed, as this tightens up on the motor side and loosens up on this side, this angle changes and it actually pulls more distance because it's an angle, not straight. Which is why I need a really high-end printers. You'll see these belts will be straight, both top and bottom. I mean, that's nitpicky. I mean, that's definitely a nitpicky thing because it's in the length of a printer like this, you're probably going to get a variance of like a quarter of a millimeter over the 200 or 200. I think this is 220 squared cubed. So, I mean, it's really not all that much. But, yeah. I don't know. It looks, so far, I'm impressed. I've never built an Ender. Never in my life. I've always, 90% of all my printers are custom built. I don't build pre-builts, pre-mades. I'm assuming the motor goes down. And this goes here. And it looks like, if I stand here, this is where you use the 30s, and they just screw through somewhere. Okay, I mounted the top backwards. This is the back. Dumbass. This is the back. Because it's got the threaded holes for this. I oopsied. I did an oopsie. That figures. Now I gotta take it all apart. Oh crap. I tightened it all up. I might have to get out the impact. And just save time. I oopsied it. I was saying that too, and I'm like, why is this on the front? And it's not on the front. I was just being a dumbass. That was a dumbass me. That was not a dumbass reality. That was me being a dumbass. because I wasn't paying attention. And I was literally saying, "Oh, the wasted area is in the front." Why did I think that went in the front? Oh, you know what it is? I was looking at the picture upside down. It's my excuse, anyways, and I'm sticking to it. That actually makes sense and goes on par with what I'm saying. Oh, I know why, because of these stupid things. I was thinking these little weird angle brackets they had to line up. When the end stop's in the wrong place, then. That's the other reason. I was looking at the end stop. The end stop should be in the front. In the back. This thing home to the back left corner? Back right corner? It must. Instead of the front left corner, like most printers. So it's kind of back asswards. That's the other reason I was thinking it went to the front, because I just looked at the end stop here and said, oh, that should be in the front right corner. Or left corner, excuse me. It goes to the rear right, which is the same thing. It's just the other side when you get right down to it. It's just printing everything backwards. Compared to any other printer. I'm gonna say it again. I'm so far impressed with this thing, even though I mounted the top backwards. Again, that's on me, not Ender, not reality. All right, let's bring this over here. Drop this down there. Remount all this crap. That makes a lot more sense. I mean, everything actually looks better than I thought. Like the milling and the facing and the quality of the extrusion finish, just the finish of it is way better than I expected, to be honest with you. I mean, even these parts have like a nice finish on them. They don't just seem like Amazon crap cheap you buy off Amazon. That makes sense. And I really want these motors. I want these motors, Viking, just like you do. Except for I want like LDO ones. With a center motor and a drive going off to either side for the cross gantry frame. That's what I want to use for motors. I gotta talk to Jason and see if I can get some. I'm pretty sure LDO makes them. I just gotta get them the size I want. Although those are just coupled. I just want the freaking drive to come out each end instead of one end. The other thing is to put the motor on one side, but that sucks. And these are all bearings too. Kind of nice. I'm impressed, as I've said like 4 or 5 times already. Or a dozen. And 2 more. One here. I don't like this adjuster having to loosen the frame up. That's just wrong in so many ways to me. But if I put this one in first, it would help align it. That's the only thing I can criticize so far that I've seen is I don't like this adjuster being mounted to the frame, actual structure. But other than that, it's pretty nice. so far. Nothing else for the cost of one of these. This is a nice frame start. Like if you were going to build your own printer from scratch and you were going to source all the parts, you can almost just buy one of these to build a box frame and use most of the parts. And just change your motion system where you want to. Because in all reality, like I said, this is not terrible. It is not terrible. I don't like this bed system with the cantilever, but that's kind of a neither here nor there picky thing. In all reality, you could just get another one of these bed gantries and just mount it to this side somehow or another. That's the only hard part is the electronics box. Which you could easily get rid of the electronics box and make your own if you were doing a custom frame. Okay. Something ain't right. Oh, we got our first issue. There we go. Something was twisted. I have a feeling it twisted in the smooth rods are twisted in their mounts. Okay, I can't get my hand over there. Where are you, hole? Right there. I think I'm going to have to unclip these smooth rods because this isn't lining up as well as I'd like it. But that's just a single screw and reset these. And these aren't 8mm, they're 10s. I just noticed, which is a nice beefy add-on. That's a nice step up from what I was expecting also. I didn't realize these are 10s. They might even be 12s from the looks of them. I'd have to measure. I just might. Just for giggles. Yeah, this was more fun than doing the top. Is that biting? It is. Something's not quite lined up here. But it is pretty close. I have to unclamp the rods. And let it settle. And that could just be a shipping thing. I'm not going to, come on. Everything else is lining up, so that could just be a shipping, boxing, who knows what minor adjustment needed. Let everything spring into place. I think I'm going to do it right now. And I believe it's this size. Ooh, that's a little loose. Now this wrench doesn't fit the holes very well. Lining up beautifully right here, like almost perfect at the bottom. So let's torque that down. And then we'll tighten up the top now that I got it semi-loose and it can realign. Because it wasn't lining up perfectly. Okay, I need to get my hand in here. loosen that up. Loosen this up. There we go. Just popped into place. Go ahead and get on there. That's pretty flush. Looks good now. Tighten this puppy up. I don't know if it's actually parallel, but it's all adjustable. You can slide these back and forth and parallel these if they're not. I think they were. I'm assuming they have some kind of jig that they're assembling these with, so I'm going to have to say they might actually be more accurate than what I can do for parallel. If we could jig it, if it's all jiggulated, then it's moving rather smoothly, and there's like almost zero play in that. There's literally zero play in that. And the lead screw's darn straight. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close. I'm going to say there's about there's almost no bobble in the lead screw. And that may just be it flexing, because these brass screws are always loose in. So the basic frame part is done. We got to attach the bed, but I think I want to do as much of the wiring as I can now, even though I know I'm not supposed to, because the bed gets in the way. And I think they give you tie wraps for all this crap. Fun 2. What the hell is Fun 2? Nozzle heat. Nozzle thermistor. Fun 1. What the hell is a Fun 1? Bed thermistor. I'm assuming these are all the motors. These are weird ribbon cables. X. And this must be the X end stop. Is the motor supposed to go up on this? On the top? Let's look. Because this cable don't look like it'll reach both. So maybe that motor's supposed to be on top and it pulls it up, which is really weird, but wouldn't surprise me. No, they're showing it on the bottom. And how is this going to reach the X end stop? Because that ain't long enough. Although I guess I can just separate it. Moving on. This is all the hot end stuff. It's going to come over here and come over here. And from my understanding, it gets mounted here. Somewhere the extruder's got to go on. Show the extruder getting mounted somewhere? Not really. Let's grab the extruder. I'm assuming the extruder goes right here. Like so, or like so. I'm guessing it goes right there, or right here. I don't think it matters which way. I wonder if it gets in the way of the bed. I doubt it highly. So let's put it there. We can always move it. Come on, fingers, grab that sucker. spinny nuts. I'm not the biggest fan of spinny nuts, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. I guess all it really has to do is clear that. So I'm assuming it goes right there. And I can move it if it doesn't. Where is extruder motor? There's Z. Aha! I was looking at the wrong one. I was looking at X. That's why. This one goes here. I was looking at X for the Z end stop. Makes more sense. Because then this can go all the way. Still doesn't really reach. Unless I'm just hodgepodge wiring it back here with no real support on anything, and it can get caught in the bed. But that's your Z height. Suppose it can go on the other side of everything. Wrap around like so. Which it feels like this thing was pre-assembled, because this feels like how the cable is pre-bent to go. I can't get my fingers in there. And this comes up here. Wonder if it'll reach. Yeah, and it looks like it reaches up and over. Which is kind of not too happy with that. It's just hokey looking, having this wire dangling in the air. I'm thinking there's a better method, but that's for another time and place. And then I'm assuming this all matches up with something, except for the motors. Why? Why, oh, why? That would be this motor. Okay, I'm not too keen on their plugs. And oh, alright, we found an issue. But again, that's a shipping issue. This whole plastic plug here is just devastated. It's mushed. But that's an easy fix. Fixed! So this goes up here, because this is your Y end stop. And this is your Y motor. Why, oh, why is it going into the motor? And I'll clean these up later. I just want to see how they're fitting. And this is all your extrudery stuff. And this is X. Motor. And X end stop. The wiring is not hard. I'm not loving it though, because this thing's got to ride back and forth with this, I guess. So you can't even like tie wrap it in. And I hate ribbon cables. These are all ribbon cables. I just really dislike ribbon cables. This has got to go in there. This has got to go to what? No. E. How does that go to E? E's way over here, isn't it? No, E's right here, duh. That's right. This is a Bowden unit. So E is right here. And then all of this stuff, which most of this goes to bed, I believe. Okay, they have all of these tagged. They do not have all of these tagged. Now, I can guess what they are because by the wire type, this is that red, like, canvasy stuff, so I know this is the hot end. But none of them on this end are tagged. Nozzle heat. So though they tag it over here, actually, this needs to go back here. Somehow this is all got to roll around. All these wires have got to free float, basically. They are color coded, though. I will give them that. So blue to white, blue to white, red and black to red and black. I don't know what fun is. It says fun. I'm guessing that's fan. It says fun. It's a fun fan. It's not just your average everyday fan. Nozzle thermistor, white to white. So they are color coded, even though they don't have these marked. All the wires are slightly different color combinations, so it's kind of hard to not get it right. As you can see, I really haven't opened the manual. The only thing I've looked at is this thing. And I think that's it. Everything else is the bed. Bed heat, bed thermistor, right? Bed heat, bed thermistor. Well, the motors are plugged in. I'm not big on the wiring here, but, you know, I've seen worse. That's its max, so if I put that right there, it's got a little clip for the wires here. It's kind of in the way. I'm guessing that's what that's for. Anyway. So I think I'm all wired but the bed. Oh, and the screen. So the bed goes on, like so. And it uses some oddball screws, and a lot of them. But it does say M4 times 10, 6 pieces. And that will just bolt on there, or does it bolt underneath? It's got to bolt on top because that's threaded. So M4 10s, 6 pieces with washers. Right here. This is the only one they didn't mount the washer, so they don't stay on there on their own anyways. Well, the other ones, they actually had the washers on there, which is kind of cool. They give you a spare nozzle and a spare Teflon tube coupler. Unless I need to mount one on the hot end. I think the hot end's got the nozzle. Yep, hot end's got a nozzle in it. Is there more screws I'm missing? And I got 2 extra ones of these. What did it say? 4 or 6? I thought it said 4. 4 pieces. They gave me a couple extra screws here and there. Well, let's mount the bed. This is probably the flimsiest part of this whole design that I don't like. Because this is just flimsy. They need to, like, needs to have a support out here, or, you know, put a shelf bracket out. Okay, that doesn't have a washer on it. Did I drop the washer? I did. It's in my hand. But this whole bed being just held up by a sheet metal frickin' flat plate. I mean, yes, it's actually a pretty beefy chunk of sheet metal, but it's still just a sheet metal flat plate. Which means it's sagulations. This is the one thing I don't like about this printer. It's sagulating. It's saggable. And there's 2 extra ones of those, which is nice, in case you lose one, or I might need it somewhere else that I don't know yet. Put those 2 screws in there. Take all these little baggies and clean up a little. Reality. Yeah, okay. I think we're set. Plug the bed in. So the bed gets plugged in here. Of course, I'm trying to do it upside down backwards. And the bed thermistor gets plugged in here. Did I have the right thermistor? That's the only thing they didn't color code differently. Yep, bed thermistor. So I plugged the right thermistor in already. They're both just white. So somehow or another, I imagine this should all be bundled up right here. But that's kind of, I don't really like the wiring. Not my favorite part. Not great wiring. But the structural build on this thing is pretty nice. I could see buying one of these for just for the frame and the parts. I have no idea what board is in here. Probably not going to bother even looking because I really don't care. Because it matters very little to me which board is in there, because as long as it works, who gives a crap? Whether it's an 8-bit or a 32-bit or board 125793 or board 5765, as long as it fucking works, who cares? Honest, it's not like I'm building this custom. I think it's a stock unit. And I think that's it. I think we're done. What time is it? Just 3 o'clock. So what did this take me? A little over an hour? Hour and 19 minutes. And that's me screwing it up once plus streaming. Oh, screen. I'm missing the screen. I forgot the screen. I'm not done yet. I gotta put the screen on. So, build analysis is I'm actually impressed with the frame structure. Not so impressed with the wiring. Oh, it's a smaller one. The wiring is kind of hodgepodgey. And that's me saying that, and I'm a hodgepodger, kind of a wirer. I'm very hodgepodgey of a wirer when it comes to wiring. I am not the neatest by any manners or means. And I find this wiring more hodgepodgey than what I would do. That makes sense? It means it's pretty hodgepodgey. But structurally, frame's pretty nice. Okay, which one of these does it plug into? I probably should have plugged it in so I could see what the hell I'm doing. Just gonna guess and go with that one. The single plug screen. I'm gonna actually look in the manual for the screen plug. Cable connection, screen, bed leveling. Let's go to 8 with the cable connection. Wow, it's actually kind of a nice manual. It's all like color and it's pretty well descriptive. If I'd actually looked at this, I would have put the top piece on in the first place in the right direction. They want the extruder motor a little farther down this. I don't think it matters any. The instructions are showing just about everything. They're pretty nice. Note, align the bottom profile, then tighten the screws. Okay, which I did. So the little issue I had with it not being squared up was right. Extruder, monitor, XYZ. They're not showing the wiring. They're just going, oh, plug the X into the Y, X into the Y into Y. I know you probably can't see the manual, but there's no actual, hey, this is how you run the wire, which there's not enough room. So this has to be like dangling in midair, all kind of tensiony here. So they show plugging them in. They don't show how to actually run them or how they say to run them. Press and hold the extruder lever and insert the filament. And then it gets into how to actually use the printer. They don't show you anything about the wiring. They don't show you which one of these plugs. Oh, EXP3. I gotta crawl underneath here and see which one's 3. I hope I got it on 3 because I don't want to do it again. Oh, I can't see. I can't read them. Where's my phone? Use my phone. Actually, I got my iPad right here. Camera. Where's the camera on this thing? I never used the camera on this. Camera. But I have it in EXP3, so I have it in the right one. EXP123, yep. So I put it in the right one. Look at that. I did something right. And I believe that's it. Done. Built. I really don't like the cabling at all. So, frame structure, I would give this an A if I were to grade this thing. Like, I literally like the frame structure. It's pretty well built. I'm not sure what these little corner brackets are. They got a weird corner bracket with it looks like a rod that could go up the top and down. The base frame structure, I give an A. The only thing I don't like about the frame is the bed, and that's not, I mean, it is what it is. It's a cantilever bed. You can sort of level it with the screws, so if it sags, you can just take the wheels and level it. They do have the really nice yellow springs over the crappy old ones they used to give you with everything. So you can counter the cantilever crap, but this thing's just like, I can see this thing moving fast and doing that, and the whole cantilever thing being a nightmare. This is just not, it's too loose. So that I would give like a C. Wiring, I give a C or a D. I'm going to go with D. I'll give it a C because it's well labeled, but it's not smartly laid out. I hate these ribbon cables. I would rather have actual flexible silicone cables like everything else is. But it is what it is. I can see these wearing out because these things will break. They're just crap. That would be one of the first things I'd be replacing are these cables. I hate ribbon cables. I just hate them. They're too stiff. They don't flex. They're made to be flexed inside of a case and left. It's a one-time flex deal for ribbon cables. It's not a continuous flex. And they're using it for a continuing motion flex situation. And I just don't. They never mold right. They never sit right. They just suck. I hate ribbon cables. They just suck. Ribbon cables suck. But it's built. Should I fire it up? Do I have an outlet somewhere? I do have an outlet right here. I wonder if there's a profile on it to print something. Then I will mount the stupid spool holder. I hate those stupid spool holders, but I can mount it and run their little cheapo filament and do a test print. See if it all works. See if it all works. Let's put some crap away. Clean it up a little bit. Oops, I guess I didn't seal that because all the screws came falling out. It's like a dumbass. You know what? I use this to hold all these parts again. I don't still need anything here. They do give you all these tie wraps, but I'm not really sure where I would tie wrap any of this because it all has to move, or a lot of it does. I'm not even sure what this little flathead screwdriver is for. Not really sure why they give you these wrenches other than, I guess, to do repairs to other things, maybe? I don't know. Oh, the nozzle and the extra. They do give you an extra nozzle and some of those blue clips, which I should probably keep the blue clips out. But we'll stash them for now. And the power cord. I don't know if I want to run it yet. 3 o'clock. I guess it's not that late. Should we fire it up and see if there's any blue smoke? We're live streaming it, so you can't say it's my fault if it blows up. Is this thing fully charged? I gotta clean up over here. Cancel. Let's see. I got this plugged in there, but it's at 100%, so it doesn't need to be powered. And we can plug this in. And let's kick it on. What do you say? Can I spin it around so you guys can see it? Actually, what I think I'll do is move the camera. I don't know. I can't really move the camera either. I don't think I can spin this around enough and get in there. Oh, maybe. Maybe I can. Oh, crap, that's heavy. Get this crap out of my way. Move the camera over here. Bring the legs in. Aim it sort of down there. Can you sort of see what's going on? You can. Power switch, screen. See what happens. Nothing. Oh, there it goes. Screen's lighting up. Ender. Fans aren't loud. Although I got headset in, head plugs in. Everything's reading out. It's showing a decent thermistor in bed freaking temperature. I don't know if you can see it. It's probably all whited out with this crappy camera. Prepare, control, no TFT, no TF. Initialize about this printer. Prepare, info screen, prepare. Okay, it came with, whatever I just did with it, came with a little SD card and a little reader. But I don't see where the SD card can go in here because is that a micro? It is a micro. I thought it was a full size. Let's stick their little card in there and see if there's anything on it. It is an 8 gigabyte. Actual 8 gigabyte card. What do you know? It's not like the little 128 they always use. Which way does it go in there? Guessing that's upside down. That don't make no sense. It's gotta go this way. Again, maybe not. That ain't going in there. And that is. Is it actually in the slot or am I in between the frame? The frame's pretty tight to it. Okay, there we go. It's showing the card in there. But it's still saying no TF card. So it's not seeing its own card. Well, let's see what's on the card. Bring it over to the computer. And see what's on the little card. Is there a USB drive on this thing somewhere? I don't think so. Oh, you know what? I can't believe this thing's running. It's on 230. We need to kick that over to 110. $115. I'm surprised that thing worked at all. Surprised it booted up and everything. Yeah, I know there's brackets you can print. Ender 3. Ender 5. Keep calling it Ender 3. No TFT good. See what's on this card if there's an actual sliced file or two on it. I know you guys can't see it, but you're over it. No name. What's on it? Model. Box 3. There's some STLs. There's a whole bunch of STLs. Ooh, there is a cat G-code, a dog G-code, and a pig G-code. There is G-codes, and they are on the top frame, so it should see them. They're in the top folder of the unit. Now, it may not have read it because I was at 220, not 110. Or maybe, does it have to go in the side here? Is it a screen? Is it a screeny one? I didn't think of that. It may actually be on the screen, not on the. Oh, I'm not seeing an SD card reader anywhere on the screen. But I don't have a screen reader. I hate micro cards. They put the frame right in the way, so you can't get your freaking finger in there and insert the card. Yep, it's upside down. Sure. But that makes no sense at all. That is in the rear. Still saying no card. Oh, printer. Creality. 1.1.6.3. It's got a Melzi board. A Creality Melzi board. Extruders 1. Baud rate of 11520. That's kind of cool that they give you that information. I'm going to initiate the SD card. Prepare. Preheat ABS, preheat, disable, set home, offset, auto home. See if it'll home. This thing's actually pretty quiet. Like, it's quieter than all of my printers, and my printers are pretty quiet. All the wires being pulled around. I don't like that at all. Something just creaked. I'm feeling something's out of alignment. The lead screw is going perfectly straight. I'm really surprised how straight that lead screw is. Keep going, baby. Keep going. Oh, I probably have to screw this thing. This is their little manual setup. They're going to dig the nozzle. Nope. It's actually not close enough. How would I back it off? Because this thing's already homed out all the way. If I open it up, it'll space it out even farther. I guess I can, because I did loosen these up. Yep, that's what I gotta do is loosen those. Well, that's nice. It homed. It's showing the SD card icon, but then it's saying there's nothing. Pro card. Well, I don't want to initialize it. What am I preparing? Move access, set home offset, disable stepper, preheat ABS, preheat PLA. Well, let's preheat some stuff. Preheat PLA. See if everything heats up. Nozzle's nowhere near the bed, so that's not a problem. Actually, it kind of is. Let's back it off a little, just for giggles for now, so we don't melt a hole in the brand new bed. Let's not melt the hole in the brand new little cheap bed. Yeah, I know you can print brackets for this, but I hate those. I really hate those a lot. The wiring is my biggest issue with this printer, to be honest with you. Of all the things, everything else so far I've seen, I could deal with. The wiring is not something I like at all. I would have to rewire this thing completely. And I'm terrible at wiring, and I would rewire this thing for sure. And this is kind of hokey. You like have the wire clip here. Unless that's not actually a wire clip, but I can't imagine what else it's for. It's like right on your, in the way of your thumb for the extruder. Is it heating up? That's getting warm. Is the nozzle warm yet? Saying the nozzle is 185 degrees. So it's getting to 185. It's at 183. The bed overshot. It's supposed to go to 45 and it's all up to 46. It's dropping down again. I guess I should put the stupid little filament holdery thing on here. And I hate with a passion on these things. But I really dislike their filament holders. Never like these things. I don't like my filament on the frame. It's just asking for trouble. Like these wires getting in the way. I wonder if it's supposed to go out back here. That would actually make better sense. Does it even say? I didn't really look at the manual. What's up, Ryan? How is life? Yeah, this is interesting to say the least. I'm seriously, I'm surprised. In structurally wise, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. I'm actually kind of impressed by this whole thing, to be totally honest. The wiring is garbage. But really, the wiring is the only thing that concerns me. Is this is just stupid because I can't tie it because it's got to go back and forth. So what do I do with it? It's just in the way. And I will say, it's a real mini spool of filament. It's not just samples of little coils. It's a real spool of filament, which is absolutely amazing. That Creality of all companies actually give you a real spool of filament. And then make it so you can't get at it because they put this saran wrap crap on it that you can't get off. But I guess I can do it. I'm kind of impressed by the mini spool. That's like making my day. It really is. It makes me happy to see. I was getting ready to pull a Chris Riley and toss it over my head. It's all heated up. It smells like burnt plastic. I need a wheel here. That don't look like it's lining up. You need to have a wheel. Let's see. Prepare. Wind, stable, change filament, cool down, preheat PRA. I can just change filament. Insert filament and press button. And it's skipping already. because it's not lining up. The armhole here in the upper hole, it's just going right on the frickin' bearing. It's not going up the hole. And it's doing it again. Nothing I can do about it. It's winding up over the bearing. It's not going up into the frickin' feeder hole. Failure, Creality, failure. And I just, I don't know if I did that, because that's a couple of lines of back. Holy crap, it's all twisted. And I know I just did one when I let it go. But that's like three. Okay. Filament's coming off. Because it's all, so look at that, it's all twisted. And I did one. I know I saw myself do it. But that was more than one. There's like 4 overlaps. So when they cut it and then set it, they knotted the filament. It was right at the beginning, so I'm guessing it was more than likely a, when they cut it. So if I bend it that way, it's not getting even close to the hole. It's not even lining up, like not even close. I can't. I wish I could show you guys. Like not even close. It's just not. It's not going to feed into the hole. It's like the 2 wheels are offset by like a half a millimeter from where it feeds into the top of the extruder. Well, that's no good. If I can force it to go the other way. If I cut the angle in the other direction, it might force it in there. Oh, it's not even. It's just not even close. And this wire's in my way, and it just instantly pushes it way off to the side. Not even close. Well, I guess that's the end of that. The hole doesn't line up. Where the hell did the end go? Now I got it all crossed up again. It's like curling to the right, just winding up around the bearing, not the extruder, and going into the hole. There it goes. I got it. I had to fiddle with it, but I got it. That's just really bad. I hate the Creality extruder. MK extruders are good. Creality extruders are bad. That's simple. There's no adjustment anywhere. Need more. Seems to be working. Of course, it's white. I'm having a hard time seeing it in there. There it is. Now I see the end of it. My God, this extruder sucks. This thing is way misaligned. Like the hole in the trigger arm isn't lined up to the hole for the PTFE tube. Read more. All right, it's pushing filament out, making a puddle on the bed. Should lower the bed. Making a big old puddle. Okay, enough. Print. Control. Motion. Curve acceleration. Steps. Where's the word setting? Initialize EEPROM. Word setting. Store. Motion. Temperature. Save. Motion. Control. Motion. You know what? Velocity is jerk. I want to actually move the. Where's this was old motion. Old. About. Control screen. How do I move X and Y and Z? Prepare. That must be it. Move access. Move Z. 10 millimeters. It's really quiet. Like, I knew they were using a quiet board and everything. But, yeah. So it's still not seeing the card that it comes with. It doesn't see its own damn card. Dan! This isn't mine. This is Mikey's. Auto drop Mike. He dropped it off for me to build for him because he didn't have time to build it. And he's like, you need money and I need it built. So he's giving me some few bucks to build it for him. And he said I can keep it for a couple of weeks and play with it. So I want. Life is life. Life is busy. Arguing with my ISP, yeah. Well, I have a Creality Ender 5 sitting here. And I'm actually kind of impressed. I really am. Structurally, the frame on this, if I had the money right now, I'd probably go out and buy one just for the frame. I would. The wiring sucks. The extruder's misaligned. He's going to have to get a new extruder for this thing right off the bat. Because it's. You know what? I can show you. Because I think I can sign in on this into StreamYards. Got that. Yes. StreamYards. I used to send me the link, but if you just sign into it, it'll sign you into your own stream. You don't need the link to the stream to get on your own stream, if it's ever going to load. Oh, I probably have the Wi-Fi still in the house. Change Wi-Fi. Oh, Wi-Fi. Home, yep. You gotta bring it into the garage. Home garage. Loading. Linking. Wi-Fi dropped. Wi-Fi back. Wi-Fi full power. Good Wi-Fi. Let's do the StreamYards reload thing. Go. Oh crap, I never signed in on this. I thought I had. Did I do under my name? Or please check your email. Or do I have it under 3D printing llama? I can't remember now. Well, here's the other way I can do it. I can just invite myself. Because that's easier. Copy. Give an email to myself. I'm not going to bother trying to sign in because I can't remember what the password and all that crap is right now. I thought I'd already signed in on this. Update screen. So, Candy, and away it goes. And then I'll get an email over here. And there it is. StreamYard. Entering the studio. Oh crap, I gotta cap off the audio. Otherwise it'll feed back. Even if I mute it, it'll feed back. Even with the headset, it feeds back. But somewhere right here, I have a cable to stop that. For some reason, it doesn't fully mute itself. But now it is. Alright, allow mic and access. Don't really need mic, but only one is the cam. Okay. Settings, switch to camera, back camera. There we go. Done. Enter studio. Whoops. iPad llama. There we go. And there we go. And now I can add the iPad llama to the stream. And I can hear myself. There we go. And now you can sort of see what I'm talking about. When you go to feed the filament in, it's just wrapping around the bearing because this is not lined up with this. I don't know if it'll, there's the camera on this thing. I don't know if you can actually see it with this, but it's way off to the right over here. So it comes up, it just hits the little black V here and just winds up around the bearing. Because this is off, like, a lot. In fact, if you look really close, I don't know if you can tell, you can see, like, coming up and bending around the brass gear instead of being somewhat in a straight line, and then arcing that way at the end, just before it enters up here. So that's way bad. But other than that, the wiring in that extruder is terrible. This extruder is really, that's bad even for a Creality extruder. I don't like this wiring at all, and there's nothing you can do about it that I can see anyways. Guess I can tie wrap it back here, but it's got enough movement now. And then this thing's all caught up. So now it's caught up in the frickin', yeah, so it pull through. Yeah, it's got enough range, but the wiring, this should come up here and then have a loop to this. I like how they put a little protector on the belt. Someone must have gotten their hair or their fingers caught in the belt here for them to do that. So anyway, there's that. I think I'm just going to cool it down. It's not reading anything, and I don't have any way to slice anything, do I? Don't think I do. And it's not reading its own SD card, even though it's its own SD card. What if I turn it on with it in there? I'm actually kind of impressed with the frame. I like that the black is not that shiny. It's a very matte frame. It's freaking square. If you saw me build it earlier, I built it and it came up square. It's fairly quiet. Change FT card. Print from that TF card. Look at that. It showed up, so I guess you gotta turn it on. What do we got here? Dog, cat, or pig? I haven't leveled the bed yet. I gotta level the bed first. So it's reading. I guess I gotta turn it on before it'll see it. You gotta turn it on with the card in there. You can't just stick it in there. Isn't there in semi-automatic height thingy for this? Guess not. Did you guys see my stream earlier today when I found my report card from 1972? My mother must have saved that because I certainly didn't. Paper. I have a piece of paper out here. Does it come with a piece of paper of sorts? All I need is something close. I got paper here. I got a notepad here. I was just using it a second ago. What did I do with it? Oh, it's underneath the iPad. Take a piece of paper and level the bed. It's probably still warm enough now. Home. Prepare. Home access. Move access. That's not what I want. I want home access. I don't want to auto home. I just want a single access. Move view. I guess I gotta auto home everything. Set home offset. Preheat PLA. Preheat PLA. It's not warm enough, and there's plastic under that nozzle, so I'll end up with too big of a gap if it ain't hot enough. I'm gonna have to turn this because I'm extremely uncomfortable. There we go. I don't know if you guys can still see the screen, sort of. You can't read it anyways because the camera sucks. Yeah, it's hot enough to melt that plastic yet. $157, $159, $160. It's warming up pretty fast. The bed's already up to 46. 172. It should be melted now. That's too tight. That's just about right. Oh, I gotta disable the motor. Disable the motors on this. Disable steppers. Disable X and Y. That's what I want. So I can move this over here and set this one. And then slide it over. Oh, what am I hitting? Oh, freaking! I hate these cables. I'm already hating these cables. I can see this thing being an issue. Wow, this thing bobbles. This is probably going to be too loose now. What you throwing in the fan, dumbass? I think we're there. Let's see if it'll print. Should clean off the bed, but screw that. Print from TF. So we do let's see, we got a cat, a dog, and a pig. Let's do the pig. Everyone does the dog and the cat. Let's do the pig. I'm almost out of rubbing alcohol. What is up, John? We're playing with an Ender 5 that a friend loaned me to build for him. I hate these beds. So, things I like. The frame on this is really nice. I got to admit, I got to give Creality credit. The frame on this is really nice. The basic assembly, very easy. Wiring, absolute hideous. Extruder, absolute hideous. These stupid flex sheet beds that aren't stainless steel are garbage. Okay, that looks like it's way too high. Although it's sticking now, it was spitting at first, but it's actually sticking now, and it actually doesn't look bad. I think it's still too high. Can you set this on the fly? Tune. In speed, flow, change filament, baby step Z. That's what I can do, right? So I can bring it down one. And everything's sticking. It's making a frickin' raft. But it's sticking now. It actually doesn't look bad. I know you guys probably can't see it. But I can make you see it, actually. Now that I think about it, I can raise the camera up. I think some, anyways. Probably not a whole lot. I think I'm going to extend this tripod. I know you're probably getting dizzy. I'm so dizzy. You should be able to sort of see it now. Sort of. Am I aimed at it? I think I am. You can sort of see it, other than you can't see it because of the shadow from the extruder, but that's because it's on the front. It's going very slowly, and it's making a stupid raft. But that's okay. Yes, they definitely need dual Z. But I gotta say, this is way beefier than I thought it was going to be. Like, these are, I think they're 12. I don't even think they're 10. Where's my calipers? These might be 12. They are super beefy. They're not just 8. Let's find out. How big are they? Did you know they made left-handed calipers? By the way, they do. These are left-handed calipers. They are 10, but they're pretty rugged and stiff. But yes, that whole bed is sloppy. They definitely need to have a dual Z, or you can, everyone makes those stupid cantilever arms that go out here, but not really my thing. This wire is just obnoxious the way it goes. I don't like that. No, it's not chorus left. The motor's over here. The X motor's right here. Just a square body box frame. What does an Ender 5 go for these days? Let's look. Ender 5. It's really quiet. Like, really quiet. I mean, I got earplugs in, but these aren't like sound deafening. They're just cheap crap. They're $15 um, Ender 5 blue. So 340, 299 at Newegg, 306 at 3dprinters.com. Creality Direct is 340, and that's for the Pro. Shopping. So 340 for the Ender 5 Pro. This is not the Pro. I think the Pro is just bigger, isn't it, or has some fancy advantages? 340 Ender 5 Pro. This isn't the Pro, is it? Pretty sure it's just the Ender 5. Yep. So Ender 5, everything's Ender 5 Pro, $299 at Newegg. Everything's an Ender 5 now, Pro. Don't see a regular Ender 5. Oh, here's a regular Ender 5, 305. You might as well get the Pro. It's cheaper. $299 in the EU. Matter Hackers, $500 to buy it at Matter Hackers. Oh, that's for the Plus. That's why. But it's, you know, oh, $269 at AliExpress. $159 refurbished on eBay. Oh, that's an Ender 3 though. Dumbasses. I really wish they'd stop giving you other shit. Like when I asked for an Ender 5, all I want is Ender 5. I don't want Ender 3s, they're Ultimakers. All I want is the Ender 5. Plain and simple. $49 on Etsy. Filament runout sensor for it. So it's, you know, it's under $400. It's actually printing. I mean, right in the box. YouTube. Banking account. Mail delivery. Your business profile. One interaction. Yeah, there's a Pro, which I think they put the aluminum extruder on. They have something different in the hot end and one or two other little gizmo-y things for the Pro, which is a little bit more. I think you can get this for like $250 if you look around. For the very basic, this is the basic of the basic of the basic Ender 5. It's really, I'm really surprised how quiet it is. I mean, I knew the new boards. I don't know how new of a board. I'm not going to open it up. It's not mine to open up that far. I mean, I don't think Mike would give a shit if I did, but I'm not going to. I like the frame. I do like the frame. I like the basic concept of the whole printer. I really dislike the wiring, like really badly. The extruder's a piece of crap. I don't particularly like this cantilever bed. I've seen worse. Um, You can put the stupid arms on it. Those arms aren't really a whole lot, anyways, because you're printing it out of plastic, and it takes out some of the flex, but it doesn't. I mean, this thing, I can bounce it frickin' a millimeter if I really push on it. This thing starts vibrating, it's going to push around a millimeter. Let's unclip that from that. It's not yanking on the filament. It's surprisingly quiet. I don't know if the mic's picking it up. I mean, you got the high speed line, but even the fans aren't that loud. I mean, the case fan's about the loudest one, and it's not even that loud. It's really not. I'm There's a lot of stuff I'm actually impressed with. I've never dealt with a Creality product before, other than seeing them online. I shouldn't say that. I have seen an Ender 5 before. I played with one. I actually recommended a friend of mine was starting out, and he was looking at the Ender 3. I said, get an Ender 5. You'll be happier with the box frame. And he did, and he was. He actually went out and bought an Ender 3 later and had it like a month and sold it and kept the Ender 5. Because even though it's a bigger frame, it actually has a smaller footprint because you don't have the length of the bed swing. It's still a pretty big footprint for the size of the printer, but yeah, it needs upgrades. But it's a good. If I were, if I didn't have a whole box of parts there, and I were gonna build a scratch built box frame printer right now, I would probably buy one of these because it's cheaper than buying all the parts. If you know what I mean. Use this as a base to build something else on. Like I'm gonna build. That's why I took everything apart on my other printers. Um, I'm gonna build a cross gantry printer nest. So I pulled apart two or three printers and used them for parts, ones I wasn't using anyway. The Pumpkin King is now gone. It's in the box over here. Right there. The Pumpkin King is in that white box. Um, Completely disassembled. But if I didn't have all those parts, looking at this thing now, I would buy one of these for parts. Everything's there. And I'm surprised how well structured it is. Again, wiring absolutely has to go away. I would replace this ribbon cable in a heartbeat. I would lengthen this and tie it direct here somewhere and put a loop up, with this for all of this stuff too, or put a loop to it. I would not use these stupid ribbon cables. The bed cable needs to be better managed. I mean, it comes with tie wrap. Some of this stuff could be tie wrap back, but this is just stupid. The way this is just dangling here. This is dumb. There's no need. That could have been better thought out. Run up and then looped to the motor. So it's a nice, pretty even, clean loop, just like this. This isn't even that bad. I figured this would be sagging worse than it is. It may over time. Yeah, you can turn it into a Core XY. Again, if I were going to build a custom printer, I would not think twice about buying this for parts to build a Core XY or a whatever, a cross gantry or Core XY and use this for the base frame. You're saving money. The parts, the materials, the basic box frame on this, plenty strong enough. I would probably, put some corner brackets because it's really stiff this way. I know if I really push it, I can flex it this way because, it's only 2020 here and it's 2040 this way. Or just put another piece of like 2020 here so it has some resistance against cantilever. Put a diagonal in, whatever you want to do, just to keep it from wobbling this way a little bit. But in reality, I'm it's better than I expected. That's for sure. I'm actually kind of impressed with it. You know what I didn't check? I played with, but I didn't actually check the tension on the wheel. They all seem to be working. So I should probably do that though after it's done here. The belts were all tensioned halfway decently. I don't particularly like the way they run them inside the 2020 extrusion, but I get it. It's a clean look. I love this motor with the dual feed out for the Y, the dual sided motor. So it's in the middle. It's not on one side or the other. I kind of like that. It's not really important. I just like the look of it. I think that's just a better, more elegant application of that motion system. Yeah, see, I don't care about imposing because I don't ever print anything. But although I should say that, I don't print anything that needs an enclosure except for the occasional polycarbonate. And actually, I don't. If the few times I do polycarbonate, I put a freaking box over it and bring it out here anyways because that stuff's the nastiest, most dangerous crap you can breathe in. That's worse than ABS. So, and you don't need to heat polycarbonate. You just need to keep the temperature even. It can't change a lot. Then it curls. If you just keep the temperature, whatever it is coming out, laying on the bed, if you can keep it even, if you get a breeze on polycarbonate, it goes boink real fast. Oh yeah, it would make it more rigid. Yeah, you could do like the bamboo frickin' ones like that. What is that? Connect 3D or whatever that everyone's talking about just came out. Um, Joel used it over in Malta. I guess they're actually in England, but the guys were using it over in Malta. Yeah, Construct 3D. That's it. Yeah, that looks like a nice, really nice printer, actually. What's up, CDL? I didn't see you. Yeah, it's working. It's printing. It's printing a freaking raft. Actually, it's over the raft. It looks like it's printing actual stuff now. It looks like it's printing pretty damn clean, too. But again, this is sliced. This is just a file on their SD card. So whatever it's printing, it's printing. I have no idea how long it's going to take. I'm going to have to go make dinner in a couple hours. And it is Tuesday. So that means it's Taco Tuesday. Ads suck. Ads suck. Okay. It says I got 2 new emails, but I'm not seeing 2 new emails. That's kind of fucked up. So it's printed away. Yes, I know it's election day. You can go away. I voted freaking weeks ago. This is my mother. I had to do mailing. I agree. What's he agreeing with? You are extremely generous, always thinking of others. Oh, he got a fortune cookie. Every staircase needs an optional slide. That's pretty cool. There's a slide on the staircase. Okay, let's get off Facebook. Let's go to Twitter. I'm reading my tweet. I have a teenager now. Pooch has a teenager. Pooch is old. Autodesk, streamlining your products. Oh, I don't know if you heard, but the other day, Autodesk just released 2 more applications under the same license as Fusion, where you can be a maker and get full access to it. Let's say it's Maya. It's not Maya. One of them is their rendering engine that's super duper high end. The only problem is you can use the renderer, you can learn the renderer, but you can't export the file after you're done rendering, which that makes that kind of pointless. But you can learn it. I mean, it's fully functional other than you can't export the file. You can save the file, and you can save the, whatever it is, VREX R3D or whatever. They're rendering engines. But the other one is, I want to think, Alias. They're really high-end 3D printing, 3D app. Like, not like Fusion 3D, but like Maya style 3D, but not Maya. Why do you keep coming up and saying I have 2 mails, but there's no emails? There's no new emails. And it keeps coming up saying there's 2 new emails, but there's no new emails. Now I want to know. Autodesk. So it looks like they're going to slowly be rolling out their. What is the auto freaking auto fill? I don't want all that other crap. I just want Autodesk.com. Oh, I want media and entertainment. What is the app they just released? Like a week or two ago. It's got the same. It's going to have the same license as Fusion does. Let me know you. Where's the applications? View all products. Give me a list of products. I don't care about what it's for. Civil, Maya, Inventor, no. AutoCAD, no. ShortCrete, no. Not 3ds Max, that I know. Not Maya. Or no. Alias. It's Alias. Alias has a new. Yep, that's it. Alias has a new licensing. Which, if you don't know what Alias is, it's kind of like a. It's a freeform modeler. It's kind of halfway in between, like, Maya and Fusion. I guess car companies use it a lot for like style bodies and stuff, but that's up. And then what was the other one? The renderer came up. AutoCAD. Revamp. Nope, it's R something. Motorsports. Is it Frame? No. Yeah, buttload of Fusion plugins now. I really wish they'd take Mudbox and make it frickin'. I would love to play with Mudbox, but they're just not worth the month and then having to pay for it. I don't know. It's a rendering engine, I think, that they just opened up to free. It seems to be printing pretty well. I don't know how long it's going to take to print. Heating done, that's all it says. Is there a progress bar here on this thing? Yes, it just says it's been going for 21 minutes, I guess. And it's not showing very much of it. 2% done. I might be canceling this because this will not be running without me in here, and I got to make dinner in a couple hours. But we'll let it run a couple hours. Actually, you know what? I might just let it run out here. As long as nothing feels like it's overheating or giving me issues. Everything seems to be running smoothly. Doing supports for underneath the crotch of the piggy for no apparent reason. If I remember correctly, the piggy doesn't need it. Doing some pretty hefty Z-hopping too. I almost never use Z-hop. I probably should. I just never bothered using Z-hop. It's certainly not loud. I mean, it's not the quietest thing in the world, but this is a lot less irritating than any frickin' printer I have in the house. Although the Llama Core itself isn't loud, the only thing that's loud is the frickin' fans on the OmniDrop. It's the only thing I really, really dislike about the OmniDrop extruder is it's freaking loud. The fans on that are stupid loud. And there's not much you can do about it because they have to be there. and it's the way the wind tunnel works. It's got a wind tunnel cooler. It like blows down, but then it blows back up, and as it's blowing up, it cools the extruder. Kind of a cool concept, but it makes the fan noise like extraordinarily obnoxious. It's printing though. It's printing away. Printing away on the cold ice of a green day. And the Pumpkin King lost his pumpkin head. The Pumpkin King. The Pumpkin King is now dead. It is parts. It's all parts. Which is extremely sad. Very, very sad. I'm so sad. I should go on Twitter. You know, hit up Pumpkin. I think I'm gonna take a picture of it, all disassembled. Let's do that while I'm killing time. Camera. So yeah, I tore apart 2 printers this morning. Use photo. I said use photo. There we go. Hey, going. At Fun King. And there's that. Filament arrives. What filament you get? Get anything good, John? Get anything good, baby? We like filament. It's actually kind of downgrading my filament stash. I have a lot that I'm not using. It's printing. It's printing. It's printing away. Oh, he wanted to see how much a auto bed leveler for this thing would be. And I think the one I would get would be TH3D, just because it's easy to wire in. Go away. Go away. Stop. Stop doing whatever you think you need to do and just go away. No one split screen. Go away. Thank you. TH3D. Studio. You put TH3D, you get like some Japanese porn company. Tech support, design, smartphone, easy enable, high accuracy, auto bed leveling kit. You're seeing around $50 at 62. The little one's the same price. Stay up to date. Yeah, everything on your email for Timmy. Bootloader. Currently out of stock. Label installation guide. I really don't want to get into wiring. I used to. If I were going to wire it, I'd rewire the whole freaking thing. Let's see, that might be on here. Take a picture for Mikey. If he's not here, he might actually be here. Just hiding in the background. It prints. Okay, there's that. How far along does this thing say it is? 4% in 30 minutes. Means this is like a 10-hour print or something. 4% in 30 minutes. Why is my math not working? One roll of Jesse Yellowburn and one roll of Overture Purple PETG. Overture's not bad. You bought one roll of Jesse? You have to pay like an absorbent amount of money by buying one roll from freaking, I'm assuming when you say Jesse, it's printed solid Jesse. Or you're in both. Does he sell Overture now? Might. Even though Overture's like the Amazon brand in it. Did you have to pay like a boatload of shipping to get printed solid to ship one roll? They know that the $50 or $55 or whatever it is like 2 rolls plus $5 to get free shipping. So I always do like either 3 rolls, which is most of the time what I do when I order printed solid, or I do 2 rolls and get like a belt or you put clipper on it, huh? Cool. So anyway, I don't know. Should I just leave this streaming and go away? What time is it? Only 4:30. Not even 4:30. Getting there though. Um, oh, Dan was live. Oh, Dan went live right around when I did. I didn't even know that. Sorry, Dan. Wish I had the slicer out here and everything. I don't think I can slice on this computer. I don't think it'll ever take like an hour on this thing. I would have done the Viking Little Hedgehog for a test print. Momo Crafting went live too. Momo's funny. I like watching Momo once in a while. Is she live now? Boyd's Custom Fab is live. He's making some, I don't know what he's making. Probably some, it looks like, no, but it says his list. He went stream. He went live this afternoon before or right after I did. It said like 140, something like that. I just got the notification and I pulled it up. If you're part of their little Discord, he has everybody goes live Discording freaking thing. It says he went live at. He went live at 1:34. Not really sure what we're doing tonight. But come on. Or is that old? No, that might be old. No, that was today, 1:34. And at 1:25. And at 1:03. Uh-oh. Dan must have had trouble. You having trouble streaming, Dan? He was here. And then I went live at 1:47. Because if you go to Dan's Discord, or I guess it's Zach's Discord now, they have a who's live streaming thing. Let you know who in the group is live streaming. We are at 6%. It's actually printing pretty good. It looks pretty clean. There's a few little wispies from the Z-Hoppy crap, but nothing terrible. Nothing terrible. My brother is going to be here tomorrow to work on this, on the CNC over here. They got to clean up all this shit tonight. Actually, I think I'm going to use the CNC later tonight. I'm going to do dinner, and then I'm going to come back out and work some more out here. And I'll probably stream because I'm going to flatten the chessboard if it's dry enough. It may not be dry enough. It's not cold out here, but I don't think it's warm enough to really cure the resin properly. Yeah, it's still gummy. I might give it another day. I might have to do it tomorrow. I might have to do it tomorrow. First thing in the morning. And that's what I'll do is just give it another day. And then level and plane off the chessboard and clean that up, cut it to fit, and then clean all this crap up. That actually means I don't have to clean this crap up right away. There's a lot of crap on the CNC that normally on this table and mounted here. I didn't want it here because my knees keep hitting it. It's all on French cleats. What are you sculpting now, Viking? Anything cool? Another little pet critter-like thing? Yeah, but $13 on a $20 roll. You paid $32 for a single roll. That's a lot of freaking money for a roll. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like printed solid filament, but I'd just go on Amazon at that price. Unless you wanted that particular color or something. I mean, I absolutely love printed solid. Printed solid is my go-to filament, but I order it in lots of 3. I'll get 3 colors at once. That and Paramount 3D filament. Oh my god, I love Paramount 3D filament. They have the bestest colors in the world. Period. Bar none. I want to know what this goes to. I wonder if this actually goes to my brother gave me just wait. My brother gave me a really nice soldering iron. What's up, local maker? Um, Years ago, like 2 or 3 or 4 years ago, 3 years ago. Um, he just retired back in April, but the company he used to work for was a big electronics company. They actually make the coin op. Like if you go to a soda machine or a laundromat or something, and the little credit card reader, their company makes the credit card readers for like Coke machines and Pepsi machines and all that. Anyway, they people send up a machine, say, hey, here's our new Coke machine. Can you make the card reader fit in this slot we left for you? And they build a board and do the whole thing. Anyway, um, every 2 years the company automatically buys all new soldering irons for everyone, and they're nice ones. They're like really high end. I don't know the brand names, but they just let the people take them home or get rid of them or do whatever they want with the old ones. My brother's like, "You want a soldering iron? I got a brand new one. I already have one at home that's just fine. I don't need another one." I'm like, "Sure." So he brought me over his leftover from work, and it works fine. But I wonder if these are the tips, screw-in tips for it. I've always just used the tip he had on it. I'm not like a major soldering guy. I don't do a lot of soldering. I have done a lot of soldering, more than I'd like to, but only because I had to. What is all of this crap? This is just come here, box. Jesus, just doesn't want to come. Empty box. So that can go in the empty box pile. These are actually the shoe horns for my boot dryer, which got to go back inside. They were in that box, which maybe I'll just put them in the empty box box. What else we got over here? Oh, these are the belts. These need to go into the printer parts pile for the next printer. So I have, parts for the next printer I'm going to build, which is not that far away. The printer stands. I never released these. They actually work. These are, like, if you're going to work on this printer and you need to tip it up on the side and you don't want it to sit on the motor, you put these on the frame, and they're like little feet, so you can work on the side of the printer. They're more for like i3 frames, so if you want to turn it upside down, you put these on the top. You can flip the whole printer upside down and work on the bottom of the printer, like on the bed or something, without like having it cantilevered on the side. They actually work. I never kind of released them. I designed these years ago. They used to use them on the Max Micron all the time. Pumpkins! Gotta have Pumpkin King. Those used to sit on the lead screws of the Pumpkin King. This can go stay out here because this is a waterproof container for a Ethernet cable. These go back inside because these are my indoor ones. This is my indoor one. These are glasses that can stay here. So the glasses I'm wearing are actually indoor ones. These are spare gloves. That's that. This is tape that can go up on the tape holder. Gloves can go with the resin kit stuff. Diagonal cutters. This cable can go over here. Can be plugged in. Is that on? Can that charge? No, I never charge that. I will charge it now. Charging. Charging a battery. What else do I got here for the mess? this torn up little cheapo silicone mat. I still liked enough to replace it with a much nicer silicone mat. The one wrench that didn't make it back in there. The SD card reader, which I might keep this little SD card reader. Because it's kind of cute and it's small and it'll fit on the, it's not as big as most of them, but it'll work with my CNC thing here. Plug into the sides, it won't just stick out as much as most of the sticks. I might steal that on Mikey. Mike's probably watching going, no, you're not! I want it! Honestly, I don't think he'd give a crap. He's probably got enough of that junk of his own. And stops. I think that's most of the cleanup. The stupid hat. My stupid hat. Because I got another stupid hat on already. Fly swatter. Need a fly swatter head. This is a Warkaki fly swatter that semi-failed. The Warkaki face didn't come out. It's supposed to be a Warkaki in there. And it says, die, fly. That was very old. This all goes inside when I go in. This all goes inside when I go in. This stays out here. It can go right here with all this stuff I never use. Those will clip back on the end of the cabinet when I'm done. I think we're good. Kind of sort of cleaned up a little. A strawberry with eyes and feet. Huh. You don't have to do the @ thing there, Viking, because it doesn't show up in StreamYard. You can just say Tom or Llama. I'll read it eventually. Because it doesn't highlight it in StreamYard when you do the whole @ thing. Oh, I love the transition rolls. I'm always buying I buy them a lot. Matter of fact, that's what I usually do. I was just saying I usually buy a third roll just for shipping. A lot of times I'll buy 2 colors I want and then buy a transition roll to get me over to $50 or whatever it is for free shipping. And I use their transition rolls all the time for just stuff like this, like prototyping and, if you look around, there's a lot of 3D printed parts on like every single piece of equipment here. Like literally every piece of hardware here has some sort of 3D printing on it. Vacuums, and who cares what color it is on the vacuum port. There's a whole bunch all over the CNC. I started out doing all blue because it's all TPU, but I went to red because I got it for free. Sergio! I actually need to talk to you, Sergio. We need to have a discussion. Nothing big. This isn't mine. This is Mikey's. He wanted me to build it for him. Mikey Auto Drop Mike. Marinati. I don't know what his last name is. What is up, Mr. Cassell? Y'all on YouTube. You need to be on. You need to be on. You need to be on the Twitch. Viking. Oh crap, dude! That's awesome. I like the face. That expression is awesome. Oh crap, dude! That's awesome. Yeah, it's his printer. He's actually got a laser too. I think I'm gonna take this and he's gonna give me the laser to build for him, and I think I might just keep the laser for a while. I kind of want a laser. It's a K40, whatever K40 is. I know nothing about lasers. Like, literally not a freaking thing. Oh, you want me to show it? I think I can. I don't know if this computer will let me or not. Let's see. Open this up. and go to Facebook, which will take 5 minutes to load on this computer while I'm streaming. And we got a logo, and we got a page, and it's loaded. And we can go to Messenger, which will take another minute or two. Wow, it's actually loading pretty fast. First, considering I got this and the iPad going. Uh-oh, Messenger doesn't want to load on this. See all in Messenger. Why isn't it letting me see all in Messenger? What the hell is this here? We went to some mustache. We're on mustache here. Try right here. It's so slow, you don't click on something and you end up clicking something else because it takes so long for it to draw, and whatever you thought you were clicking on is long gone. Dude, I love the expression on his face. That is freaking awesome. You're doing that in event now. I don't call it share screen. Share screen. Window. Facebook. Share it? Yep. I love that bucktooth like ZBrush, yeah. So I'm kind of fading away from ZBrush and I'm leaning more towards frickin' Blender because their frickin' dickhead bought out Pixel Logic. Was it Maxon or whatever it is? They screwed my license. My ZBrush license went away. They're not going to update. They're not going to do everything. I either have to go to the monthly or rebuy it every year. It's like you buy it every year to get the updates, or you have to pay monthly to get the updates. And I'm sick of the fucking. I hate the mortgage list. I absolutely hate mortgage list. That whole lazy ass. We want to get paid for not doing anything attitude. Just like Photoshop. If anyone looks at Photoshop and pretty much all the Adobe products since they went to Mortgageware, the subscription-based profile, if you look at their update like history, they used to update like constantly because updating got you to buy the next update. You know, you buy every year there's a new update. There's cool new features. Now Adobe adds like cool new features like every 2 or 3 years because they get their money no matter what. I absolutely hate subscription software. Fuck two strawberries. What are you doing on YouTube there, Sergio? Go over to Twitch. I only do YouTube to get everyone over to Twitch. Michael, go over to Twitch. I know you got a Twitch account. I only do YouTube to let people know I'm actually streaming. That is like I just auto click everything now. It just auto loads them both. And I think YouTube is still a better platform. I wish I could bust that 1,000 subscriber frickin' thing so I could get paid because I probably would abandon Twitch and go to YouTube. Fuck two strawberries. I just love his expression. That is like so awesome. You're gonna have to send me that file. I want to print that. That's one of those you kind of want a multicolor printer for though. I don't think a single color print of that is gonna. I'm here. So maybe I'll do it right here on the stream, Sergio. So Sergio, being the fucking awesome guy that he is, like ridiculously awesome dude, he sent me that Prusa Bear. And I think I'm going to pass the Prusa Bear on there, Sergio. Because I don't want to fuck with it. It's too pretty and it needs a little bit of work. I have a feeling something got screwed up in shipping. I mean, it still prints good, but it's really loud motion. The movement is stupid loud. And I think what I'll do is you need a Prusa Bear? Maybe. I haven't decided how I'll forward it. I'm not going to like try and sell it, especially since you gave it to me and paid for the freaking ridiculous amount of shipping. It must have cost hundreds of dollars to ship that thing to me. I think what I'll do is just somehow collect enough money to ship it and like just give it away to somebody that needs a printer. Because I don't want to screw with it. It needs work, and I don't want to fuck with it. It's too freaking pretty. Every time I look at it and go, okay, I can fix this. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't have the patience for it. If I start tearing into it, I'm going to screw it up. I'm really good at making them work, but not making them look pretty. You made that thing look freaking gorgeous. That's probably nice. I kind of don't want to get rid of it, but sushi, but you can keep that. I'll go have a Pepsi. Okay, still need a freezer bear then. Don't you have a printer? I think I want to give it to someone that has no printer, or only has like a printer, and it's, they have like a crappy anniversary. It's a nice printer. I mean, Sergio installed every freaking bell and whistle on that thing. It lights up and it's got all the color codes for all, it goes through the color rainbow as the heater heats up and the bed heats up, and it's all sensorless homing. Has the auto X in, um, has the auto X leveling plus the bed leveling because it's dual Z motors, so it's got both. It's a really nice printer, but I think one of the IGUS bearings got damaged in shipping because it's really really loud moving, and they're IGUS bearings; they shouldn't be loud. And it's only loud when it does certain motions, but it's like sick loud. And the fans are pulsing, and I think that's part of the firmware. Did that thing always pulse, Sergio? Oh, he went and got dinner. He's probably not here anymore. Because the hot end fan, not the actual cooling fan, but the actual hot end fan, constantly pulsing. And I think that's part of the firmware setup, where because he's got it set up for the auto on, where it turns on when the hot end gets to a certain temperature. Later, John. It's printing little piggy legs. I think I'm gonna have to actually bail on it. I might just leave it on. Maybe I'll leave it on and just let it stream being on. People can watch it go around and around and around. Or maybe I'll kick off and then go on and put it on Maker Deck. Maybe that's what I'll do. Not yet. I got another. It's not even 5 o'clock yet. But I'm gonna make dinner in an hour or so. I don't know. I think I'm gonna. I haven't decided yet, but I'm not using it. And I think it's a waste just sitting there looking pretty on the shelf. I would rather somebody use it because it's way too nice to just sit there. But it's so pretty. It's just such a beautiful freaking printer. It's so very, very pretty. But I don't want to tear into it. If someone's got to be comfortable with tearing into it and putting it back the way it was, and I'm just not. If I tear into it, it'll be a hodgepodge put back together. I don't have the patience for all that fancy wiring you did. So you print your little strawberry on your Clipper slash Delta printer there, Viking? In the middle of a bathroom tear out and remodel. Oh, that's always fun. I did so many bathrooms and kitchens in my life. I never want to do one again. I hated doing bathrooms. Bathrooms sucked. Of all the remodeling I ever did, nothing would make me go ugh more than doing bathrooms. I hated doing bathrooms. You're always cramped. It's one of those you got to do 90% of it by yourself, You can't even generally get more than one person in the room, so you're doing all the work yourself. I'm not great at the plumbing and crap. I do okay with it. Again, just like wiring, I can make it work. I just can't. I have a hard time making plumbing pretty, so it looks good to the homeowner. And it's cramped and showers and tubs and wire hoses and drains and I mean plumbing's not hard in the sense of it's freaking easy to glue everything together. It's hard to make it all neat and clean and pretty. That's what I have a hard time with plumbing. And it's just bathrooms are so cramped when you're trying to work in them. It just sucks. I hate going bathrooms. I was whining about doing bathrooms. Or when I asked you if you were printing your strawberry face on your little clipper eyes Delta. Are you printing your little strawberry dude on your Delta? Mm. Yeah, that's the only way. Especially those old houses. There is no. I would not do an overlay of anything anymore. I won't overlay crap anymore. I used to do that when I first started because that's what my boss would do. But even he, the guy I originally started working for in high school, would occasionally do overlays. Like he did a lot of roofing and siding, and occasionally he would do overlay roofing. And after like a year and a half, 2 years of working with him, we were both like, not do overlays anymore. Yeah, stripping it sucks, but it sucks even worse when you're all done and you look back at a roof that's an overlay, and it looks like crap. And you know it's not going to last because it's got the old crappy roof under there all breaking apart and falling apart. Same with siding. We used to just side right over like everything around here back in the 60s and 70s was all cedar. Everybody had cedar. That's what it was. Cedar was cheap back in the 60s and 70s. Well, when I started doing, vinyl siding, it was actually aluminum. We were doing aluminum, and you just do it right over the cedar. And even that, after like 3 or 4 years of doing it, we were like, let's just strip the cedar off. It's not that hard. It doesn't. It adds a day of work. I mean, it's literally 2, 3 guys can strip out. You know, most of them are beach houses here. They're mostly one floor. Some of them have like an apartment in the roof, but they're beach houses. They're not like full on houses. Most of them. I mean, this is a beach location. They're all 1 story capes, but not even really a cape. They're kind of just we call them chicken coops. Because a lot of them were chicken coops. But anyway, you could strip the house in a day. 2 guys can strip the house down in a day, and you're setting up the staging and everything anyway. So it's no big deal to just strip the siding as you set up the staging and run around and set everything up for the aluminum. So we got to the point where we're just like, we won't do an overlay anymore. Just won't do it. Everything gets stripped right down to the bare plywood. And then if there's anything wrong with plywoods or sheathings underneath, you know it, you can fix it. You're not just trying to nail through rotten plywood. Oh God, 2 layers of drywall on top of lath? Fuck that. I will leave the lath sometimes. If I can pull the plaster and the lath can stay, a lot of times that stuff will actually flatten the studs out, so it's easier for the sheetrock to lay flat. I have left the lath behind on more than one occasion. It's not always perfect, but a lot of times when they lay the laths for the plaster, it's never perfect because the plaster guys flatten the wall, but they'll semi flatten the wall with the laths and pad it, shim it so it's somewhat straight, so the plaster guy has an easier time, depending on how old the house is and how badly it was built and blah blah blah. But yeah, doing old houses suck. The only good about old houses is the framing in them is usually as good, if not better, than modern. They're not framed as well. The actual framing, the material, is generally better. All my oak, my brother's house, when we stripped his attic, all that oak up there, The whole house was framed in oak, not pine, oak. The whole house. Floor joists, oak. Studs, oak. Roof, oak. Everything was oak. With cedar tongue and groove flatboard for backing and then cedar shake over it. That's what they did in the 1800s. They didn't like go to the lumberyard and buy wood. They cut the trees down in the yard they were going to build the house in, and they milled it right then and there into studs. So whatever your yard had for trees, whether they were oak or birch or pine or whatever, that's what your house was framed out of. Well, a lot of them would cut them down and bring it to the mill in exchange for milled boards. There was a mill right down the street from my brother's house. So a lot of those old timers used to, they'd cut the trees down and limit, but instead of milling it on site, they'd horse and buggy it to the mill. The mill would take the logs. They'd give them whatever money for the boards, and they'd walk away with the boards from the mill. 3 layers of plywood on the original plank board. I don't get to just keep going over the crap. Pick it up. Just don't. The whole going over crap is just lazy. It's just sheer laziness. The little strawberry kills me there, Viking. He's cute. That's a good design. I like that. Gotta get back into it. I actually used to be pretty good at modeling, and then completely lost touch in like 15 years of the software and everything, and just none of it works the same. Most of the Mars scene in The Martian was actually filmed on Earth. No, really? Because, the film company went to Mars with a rocket and filmed it on Mars. Duh. Yes, we know most of the movie was filmed on Earth. Anyway, on that note, I think I'm gonna bolt. Should I leave this thing going? Are you guys gonna sit here and watch this fucking stupid printer go around, or should I raid somebody? I do think I'm gonna leave it here going. Did I get raided at some point? The only problem with StreamYard is it doesn't tell you anything. Pause. Edit info. Yeah. Log in from here and do a raid. And stream marker is done. Come on, I said done. No changes have been made. Okay. So, as the Lord shows fit, viewer session. Yeah, I gotta talk to Sergio because Sergio's there. I'm not sure what I want to do here. It's more up to him. He sent it to me. And I kind of want to keep it. I mean, it's a freaking gorgeous printer. But it's just sitting there and I'm not using it. And I would rather it go to someone that will use it. because it is freaking pretty, and that's why I kind of don't want to get rid of it. Okay, how can I? We can drop settings, appearance, switch to creator mode, see all activity. Um, there's Mikey. It's printed. I sent you a text. You get the text? Purple bear? It's actually red bear. It's a bright red one. It's not purple. I was just getting ready to bail out on this here stream because I got to go make dinner and crap. But it's printing. It's printing whatever. I think it's a little piggy or something that was on the SD card. It does have some issues. You need to get a new extruder for it because the extruder doesn't line up. The actual the little arm you stick the extruder into the filament into. Holy crap! It's chewing up plastic because it's all misaligned. I just noticed that there's like white filament flakes everywhere. The the filament goes in the hole in the arm and then goes into the feeders and it wants to curl off to the right. And the actual hole to go up into the into the printer, into the PTFE tube is off to the left, like more than half the diameter of the filament. Oh, then sell him that one. There you go. I haven't decided if I want to give it away. I just putting it out there because Sergio was like freaking awesome sending me that thing because he knew I needed a printer at the time. Not that I needed it, but I always wanted to play with it. And I'm still undecided. It's just a thought. But again, I just don't. I don't know. It's just sitting there. I don't use it. The purple bear. I forgot you had like you got like two other ones, don't you? You need to make room. How are you liking the bamboo thing? You like that bamboo? Sergio sent me the red bear because he was getting the bamboo and he needed room. He was out of room. So he's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Sure." Then he knew I was broke. This thing is actually not bad. Of all the Enders, this is probably the Ender I would own if I had to buy an Ender right now. I don't like the wiring, and that extruder is a pain in the ass. But I think that's just a malfunctioning, mismanufactured one. Because I've never seen one that badly. The filament goes into the extruder and hits the wheels and the bearing, and then takes a hard left. Minis? What do you got? Prusa minis? I'm all done with bed slingers. I think all my printers from now on are going to be bed droppers. Just like them better. I just like them better. It is 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. Yeah, bed slingers kind of stuff. I mean, they work. There's nothing wrong with them in the sense that they work. Yeah, I'm more into. bed droppers and I had bed splitters. Yeah, the minis are nice. There's a couple of printers I wouldn't mind having out of bed splitters. I wouldn't mind I need room for the Prusa XL. When is that shipping? They're not shipping yet, are they? What? See what I tell you there, Mr. Computer. That was you want to do. Well, that's the other thing is where the Prusa's sitting now. I think is where I'm going to put the one I just disassembled, and I'm going to start building this. Probably this weekend, I'm going to start designing and building it. I'm building me a cross gantry. That's going to be my next printer. This printer is really quiet. I don't know how much of the. I mean, there's motor whine and everything, but even the fan, this thing's really quiet. Yeah, Revo and both huge improvement. I'll take my Omni drop, thank you. Although the Revo does look interesting. If I were swapping nozzles, see, I don't swap nozzles. I put a .6 nozzle on both of my printers like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Never took them out. Never changed them. Never. I just use a .6 nozzle for everything. But then I don't do pretty prints. I do practical prints. I do parts for the CNC and you know hose adapters, and so they don't need to be pretty. I mean, this is a camera holder, which actually looks pretty, but it's that was done at like .3 layer height. That's printed solid lime green filament, so I can put the phone on it and mount it on a tripod. I'm gonna start using the phone as a second camera out here eventually. Yeah, but it's not loud. It is not loud, and these aren't earplugs. They're just earbud things. There's almost no soundproofing with these. That's all I use. I use .6. I haven't used the .4 in years. Both of my that has a .6 on it. The Llama Core had a .6 on it. The Max Micron had a .6 on it. All my printers are just .6. Again, I'm not looking for pretty. I don't do a lot of pretty printing. I do practical printing. Everything I do is mechanical, so I don't need it. I don't need a .4. I would rather do the .6 and get a better layer adhesion, do it faster, cleaner, and it just works. Like every one of those has a 3D printed dust collecting adapter on it. That's got 3D printed wheels, 3D printed everything. This is the kind of crap I do. I 3D printed feet for my clamps. My clamps not only have a pad, so they anti-mar pad on a clamp, but they got little feet and they're TPU. So they don't mark up, and the clamp stands up on its own, and I don't have to like roll it around, and I put the board on there and it holds it up. By the way, these are on the printables for the 1/2 inch. I don't have any 3/4. I have 3/4, but they're really old, and I don't really use them. But these are the 1/2 inch Harbor Freight clamps, which, to be honest, I have no problems with them. I've heard people say, "Oh, they're not as good as the Betsy's." I have some Betsy's. I have these. I don't see a difference. These are just fine. When it comes to clamping, they do something really well, and that is clamp. They clamp just as well as the Betsy does. The Betsy doesn't clamp any more or any less. They all just clamp. Now, the Betsy's do come with feet on them. I don't have to 3D print the feet. But the Betsy's are like $16 a pair on sale. Those are $6 a pair all the time. So I can buy two of those and print the feet and still be way ahead. So there's that. Anyway, on that note, I think I'm going to read out. Pick a channel to raid. Channels you follow. You know what? I don't know if you guys will get into this, but Floyd's Custom Fab is pretty cool. I like Floyd. He's a woodworking dude, but he's kind of a Texas goofy little guy. I shouldn't call him little. He's bigger and taller than me. He's a good guy. So let's raid Floyd's Custom Fab. I'll give you guys a little variety. Since most of you guys are my 3D printing compadres. And of all the people watching, there's only 7 on Twitch. The rest must be on YouTube. Let's raid Floyd. And on that note, who's ever on YouTube, have a good day. I'm out of here. Y'all have a good night. I'm going back out later tonight.